Alright, guys, so welcome to the September 2013 episode of the Solo Queue Advanced Statistics Vlog with your host and subject, Gelati. So, September was a really, really bad month. Um, Actually, like it's bad because that's back-to-back bad months now, and it's weird. I'm like really giving myself a short leash for my end of season goal of diamond, and just did not play well this month. Did not meet a lot of the goals I set for myself, and just like generally speaking, played terribly. Um, Couple things like just news and business to get out of the way before we get into it. Um, for Worlds, I'm actually flying out to LA and we staying with a bunch of pros. Friends of mine that I've been playing with for a while, friends that used to live out here. So you guys won't see me from maybe actually from like tonight really until probably late Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on how it goes. Um, so I'll be out in Worlds. Yes, super psyched for that. That's gonna be awesome. And just for now, my prediction is SK Telecom. Haven't come up with a game amount yet, so check Twitter for that, and I'll let you know. But the plan is to push Diamond when I get back, so I'll be streaming a whole lot when I get back. I know I haven't been streaming a lot in the last week or so be ready for that. I'm also going to release another video with more specifics of what I need to do for next month, but for the time being, this is going to be mostly just diving into the numbers for this month. So, without any further ado, the numbers as usual. So, what we have here, it's going to be on your right is this month's statistics, on your left is last month's statistics. So, I like to compare them side by side for you guys, as you've seen me do in the past. So, real quick, let's just go. We're going to go piece by piece. I'm not going to spend too much time on this stuff because if you haven't seen this before, you can go back and check my how-to videos or some of my earlier videos where I explain more in depth. You can also check the blog where I, in writing, explain how I do everything. So real quick, highest placement. I spent this entire month in Plat 4, ranging from 0 to my placement matches. So I did spend the entire month here. I didn't drop down to Plat 5 like I did last month. So that's a slight improvement from a rating standpoint, but doesn't necessarily mean there's a slight improvement. You go to my record, I was 19 and 26 and 0 and 2 in promos. That's not very good. That's 2 months back to back now with a losing record. Even worse news, you go over to my KDA. While I was scoring more kills than I was last month, I was also dying a heck of a lot more, like almost a death and a half a game more, and my KDA dropped significantly, like 0.7 or 0.85, whatever that is. That's a pretty significant number, and to have a KDA under 3 at this level is really not acceptable, honestly. So that's a problem. I only had a 3-game winning streak, 4-game losing streak is the same as last month. LP gain loss, not a big deal here. Peak KDA, 14 deaths, way too many. 32 assists was a good game, but that was also a long, 54-minute game, so I would hope I have that many. Highest single game CS, not too big a deal. This is a big thing I wanted to focus on here. The combat grades, my laning effectiveness actually went down. That's almost 30% less good than I was last month. And we'll touch on this later in the broadcast, but one of the things I wanted to do was improve my lane effectiveness, and I clearly did not do that. I'm getting a lot more positive lane influence from junglers and other lanes, so that's a good thing. That could just be the way I'm setting things up, or maybe it's that I need help because I played so badly. You can look at that any number of ways you want. The way I like to look at it is it's just the way it happened to shake out this month. On the reverse side of that, I had slightly less outside attention than last month, but that's still a relatively high number compared to some of the things I've done previously. So, the one thing I did absolutely improve on again, from July into August, I wanted to improve my roaming because I was getting out roamed really hard, and I did. I wanted to continue doing that from August into September, and I did with flying colors. This one I passed with flying colors. I'm doing a significantly better job roaming, getting around the map, and creating plays for my team. So that's something I need to keep doing. Honestly, that's the one positive I pulled from this month. So go to the contribution grades. These are percentages. If you guys aren't positive on how I calculate this, you can go back and check the previous videos. Positive contributions roughly the same, slightly less this month, but the big thing was negative contribution was way up. And my net contribution average was significantly low, like deep in the red. Like that's really bad. And you can see, like I had 17 positive games and 28 negative games, and you're not going to get very far doing that. So you look at the record and positive contribution games, 6-11, which is kind of funny. I did even worse in games where I had positive, but I just had negative record all around because I lost so much this month. The idea being like negative contribution is way low, and you're not going to win as many games when that's low. Moving on to damage, I am doing more damage overall, about 1.5% more than last month. And if you take the support games out, it's slightly less, but I'm keeping decent chunk of damage going, especially because I've been playing a lot of like, bursty kind of champs that aren't necessarily like huge damage dealers, like from a team fight or like Cassiopeia or Karthus or anything like that. Gold is roughly the same. There weren't too many differences here. My overall gold per minute went up about 10, so not a significant improvement, but a slight one. Most played champions. This month it was Ari again, because she's a good champion of mine, and she also happens to be very strong at the moment. This month I went 6-4 with her. My average CS roughly the same. My KDA actually went down a lot. Like 2.4 to 1 is significant, and I could attribute that to myself playing badly and also people adapting and learning how to deal with the champion. I saw a lot of mismatches with assassins. I saw Annie a couple times. So that's just the way the cookie crumbles in terms of that. But my lane effectiveness also went even further down, so that's not good. I did keep my enemy CS slightly down though, so that's a good thing. A lot of lane action against and for here. Again, like I think with assassins, you tend to pull jungle pressure for and against, so that's why those numbers are slightly inflated. Still a very short game length. It's 28:52 this time, so edging toward 29 minutes. Still a relatively short game length. It's about like 3.5 minutes shorter than my average game. Once we get down to that. The other good thing I did do well this month was limit my champion pool down, even though I played just as many games. I only played 12 champions this month, and that's a goal that I set for myself, that I wanted to really focus and concentrate my focus on certain champions and limit my champion pool so that I'm not losing games because I'm uncomfortable or because I'm playing a champion I'm less good at. So that's good. Duo Q statistics, I always suck in Duo Q. If you guys have been following me, you know that by now, but I only did one game and I lost it. We'll go to average match time, about 16 seconds longer this month. Yeah, not too much difference there. The only big thing is I'm still really doing badly in these games that end fast, and my sweet spot is still in that 25 to 35 range. So like within this 10-minute mark is really like where I play the best. So like mid to late game. I usually play well in really, really late game, but I haven't the past 2 months, as you can see with the 2. Pick order statistics, nothing too crazy there. I did 0-3 as 5th pick. That's a little odd. Usually I'm pretty strong in 5th pick, and that's 2 months in a row now where I did not do too well with it. Most frequent opponent, we actually have some good data for this month. I played Zed against Zed 5 games. I went 1-4 against him. Played against Cassid in 4 games, went 3-1 against him, and played against Vayne 4 games, went 1-3 against Vayne. My strongest matchup of more than 3 games was in fact Cassidon, which is funny because it's a champion that I don't like, and I tend to ban if I get it because I hate just not having control of my lane opponent, and he's like the worst case scenario for that. But I think like just the way that I'm pressuring and not letting them farm, and I'm doing the roaming, really helps me in that scenario. So you see the CS for and against is a pretty drastic difference, so that's good. Weakest matchup is of course Zed. Still, and that's a matchup I wanted to focus on, and I actually did practice some 1v1s, and I'm still struggling with that. I think the champion is just really, really strong, and I don't have an answer to how to deal with them. I've been playing Lissandra to at least make it so that I'm not the one dying, and I can like lock him down in fights. But it doesn't seem to be working too well either. I'm 1-4 against him. He's out farming me significantly, as you can see here. So didn't play any summoners more than once. First blood's 4 and against. I had 3-4 and 2 against. I went 1-2 when I got the first blood. I went 1-1 when I gave up the first blood. First game record in first game, still doing well in the first game of the session. Got a winning record. It's not overly impressive, but it is a winning record. Still slightly losing record in the last game of the session. So again, it's improved from last month's win percentage, but still got to be careful. I'm not playing one too many games. 1-0 in single game sessions. Now, positional statistics. I'll break it down by the position I'm in and the role I'm playing there. So I got mid in 69% of the games I played this month. I went 14-17, so losing record at my specialty position. Not something I'm too proud of. I am averaging higher farm than my opponents, but my KDA has dropped substantially. That's like 0.4 down from last month. The good thing is, and again, this goes back to what I was talking about. My roaming did improve significantly, so that went up. But the trade-off, I guess, was that my lane effectiveness went down, so that's not good. I was 1-0 on AD carry. I only played one game. I was 4-9 on support. Terrible. Like I just played awful this month. Honestly, like it's terrible. And I think like it's really difficult to play support in this assassin meta because like I have a 1.8 to 1 KDA on supports. Support's supposed to have highest KDA. Like that's really unacceptable for this level of play, and it's the reason why I've been losing. I'm just dying too much. 7.2 deaths per game, up from 5.3. That's 1.9 more deaths per game. That's like terrible. And you're not going to win many games when you're dying that much. Period. Doesn't matter what role you're in. So I don't know if it's that I need to adjust to the meta. I don't know if it's I need to watch the map more, or if I'm underestimating my opponents. I don't know what it is, but that's got to get fixed for next month. I only had 4 positive games in support. From a contribution standpoint, that's bad. I did have a lot of outside lane pressure, so that's worth noting. I think that like look at that, it's like a lot. That's like almost a kill per game or an objective per game worth of outside lane influence. Just bad all around. So no jungle, no top this week. Environmental statistics. The longest session I had was a 5-gamer, and I went 2-3 during that. Just bad record during the afternoon and bad record during the evening block. Like it just sucked. I didn't play any morning block games this week. This month. Day of the week stats, nothing too crazy. I suck on Thursdays this month, but my Sundays are back to 500, down from 1-8 last month. So music, nothing too bad. Apparently, I play bad during dubstep or doing listening to dubstep. So Kyle will enjoy that. It's one of my viewers. So let's get down to the goals from last month. Okay. So you can see on the left here, I set the following goals for myself for this month, which is September. I only achieved one of those. So I'll go down these one by one just real fast. I set goal number 1 was to improve my lane effectiveness across the board, but especially in mid matchups against assassins. I did not do that. I lost, like my lane effectiveness dropped. And I did even worse in like my lane effectiveness in the mid lane, and I'm still just like I know for a fact that I'm still struggling against a lot of the assassins, and that's even though I've done 1v1s against Fizz, Zed, like practiced with people I know. So I failed that. Huge failure on goal number 2, which was to reduce negative contribution score and eliminate tilt games. I had about 6 tilt games this month out of 45 games. Like, you do the math. That's a big enough percentage where, and I counted a tilt game as any game where I had double-digit negative contribution. So pretty much you had to die a lot and not contribute anything to your team. So that what ended up happening, and I noticed this, is like I would tilt. So when I would lose control of a game, or a game would tend to trend negatively, where normally I'm positive and I stick with it and I get myself back in the game, I was not doing that this month for whatever reason. The one thing I did succeed in this month was to refocus my champion pool, which is a goal I set for myself last month, and I did. I brought the champion pool down from 17 to 12. So I only got 1 out of 3. I got 1.5 out of 3 last month. I got 1 out of 3 this month. So hopefully we trend it back up. I'm going to set the following goals for next month. Goal number 1. This is the last month of the season, so I got to remember that. Goal number 1. Terrible matchups have plagued me. I have to have a positive win-loss against the main assassin champions. That's the goal I'm setting for myself. I want to have a positive win-loss ratio against all the main assassin champs, like Zed, Ari, Kassadin, Viz, LeBlanc, etc. Goal number 2, no more tilt games, period. Period. None. It's unacceptable. So I'm going to pretty much, that's like severely limit negative contribution. Goal number 3 is to maintain a roaming effectiveness grade of equal or greater value to this month's. So if I can do equal to this and improve my lane effectiveness, I'm going to perform significantly better. But if I can outroam even more, then I can create more opportunities for my team. That'd be good. So that was the positive, and I want to maintain the positive that I kept from this month. So those are the 3. I'm going to add the bonus goal of going for Diamond 5. It's a long way off. I'm going to have to play a lot of games, and realistically, it's going to be pretty tough for me to get there, but I'm going to try to do it. So this is the last month of the season. It's time. Like, it's now or never. I got to go for Diamond 5. So that's it for this month, guys, and I thank you guys for watching, and I would encourage you guys to follow me on all of social media. Check the stream out. Have fun watching Worlds. And I hope you guys I wish you guys all the best. And I will see you guys next month.